right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have one of the final races of this current round of Swiss for the Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Rando tournament. We have Xarnax42 versus Cynas for you. Joined on commentary today by Melee Wizard and Mirai. How are you two doing?
I'm doing all right.
Fine as always.
Okay, I will hand this over to the two of you, and we will get this race underway.
All right then. So just by looking at the trackers, we've got some good starting equipment. Candle is always a nice thing to have. Raft and boots and the hammer. We'll be able to at least get to places early on. What we'll find there is going to be another matter, though.
Yeah, if we have any restrictions on our raft or water or boulders, those you're going to be good to go in those areas. Flute, glove, unsure yet. And quick and easy caves with the candle as well.
Oh yes. It's always nice to be able to see where you're going and, see the enemies in front of you.
Always. Getting started here shortly. Xarnax is sitting at 1-2, and Cynas is unfortunately sitting at 0-3, unable to get into the brackets with 3 wins needed. Xarnax still has a chance if he takes a win today and next week in the final round of Swiss.
Yeah, and we've got 5 lives, 2 gems, and 7 hearts, and looks like Vanilla West.
Well, this is something that kind of bit Cynas in the rear in a previous race where he doesn't have a lot of vanilla knowledge. He's a fairly new runner to Z2. Xarnax, on the other hand, vanilla veteran, so this is going to be a walk in the park for him.
Yep, and it looks like fire is linked to shield, which is expensive for now, but as we get magic levels, so being a 2-gemmer, who knows how many levels we'll actually be getting here.
Yeah, plus seeing this red diver here in this magic container cave early on, having that fire shield spell is going to be useful. Unfortunately, Xarnax wasted his 1 cast there, getting knocked off the screen, but gives a chance to try again here.
Oof. Yeah, but red Dyra in close confines equals lots of pain.
There's a Gorilla back there as well, I think.
Yeah,
So
I did see one, but that one's not at least so bad. At least you can block the boomerangs.
Yeah, you got axes being thrown at you, and then boomerangs from behind. You got the tank Dyra, the caster, the ranged in the background throwing stuff.
Oh, Xarnax fighting Trophy Cave, and it has the glove.
Wow. Well, all we need is a little fairy spell, perhaps, and I don't know. We might be just good to go, depending on where GP is at. I mean, 2 gems, 3 palaces on the west. We might not even need to leave the continent for all we know.
Not even checking what the spell is in Ruto.
Did we start with the spell in the 2nd slot? I don't remember.
No, it was in the 8th slot.
Okay.
And Cynas was able to get past the red Dyra.
Yeah, very nice 200 experience for that one.
And Alpha
no.
Retard.
Magic Container Cave coming in and showing us that you're going to get a magic container, just not the one you want.
And the flute is in the east.
Interesting.
Someone, does Xarnax know that you can check the mailbox up front to see what the spell is in the town?
I believe so. He's...
Because he didn't check the one in Ruto, and he didn't check the one here. Well, I guess we're going to find out what the spell is regardless.
Yeah, I think I've heard the argument that if it's simply a free spell that you're going to get, that you might as well just go in and get it early on, I guess.
Well, it's Reflect, so that's not bad.
We do have Shield and Ruto. That's what Cynas just showed us there.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, this hammer coming in handy right off the bat here in our Vanilla West. Of course, very boldly blocked.
Another red Dyra. We're seeing a lot of those today. But you have a bit more space to work with here.
Did that hint for the flute in the east, did that come from Raru or did that come from Rudo?
That came from Rauru.
Okay.
300-point P-Bag, which early on, that's not a bad find.
Yeah, 200 for the Daira up front and a little bit from the rest, and then 300 at the back of the cave. I don't know. I would take it early on for sure.
And I think Cynas is realizing the true vanilla-ness that we're dealing with here.
Yeah, again, he's going to probably be kind of slow to traverse this continent just without the vanilla knowledge. He's just going to have to kind of discover things as he goes along. I don't know how much practice he's been doing since his last vanilla shuffled, which was a little punishing for him. But yeah, having this vanilla knowledge on a vanilla map like this is obviously going to be a big advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, he will be finding his glove here in Trophy Cave.
And Mido rather has Thunder. Interesting find. So, don't have the medicine, and we don't have the means of getting downstab, which it doesn't look like our runners have.
Yeah, I'm glad Xarnax came back to check for that raft house, see where it led.
And it's Vanilla East.
So vanilla and vanilla. I'm not sure if we're playing the randomizer here today, but well, here it is.
Well, at least the items are shuffled, and that was a 700-point P-Bag, which nice for a quick attack 3.
So that means we're going to have access to Ocean Palace area, the easy access to the northern side of the east here, as well as Maze Island Bridge. The flute is in the east, so we can have that hint if the River Devil is blocking us from the south in case we need to go down there. I think we got a lot of information here.
I think based off of that, there's really only 2 places it can be. It can either be on the ocean tile or in the P-Bag cave.
Yeah, unless Yeah.
I did not see what that spell was in Naburu.
Neither did I.
Our tracker, Patrick, saying it was life. Goodness, I would have taken that. Even with 7 hearts, you can never go wrong with having a life spell. Yeah, just a P-Bag on the water tile.
Yeah, another 700 pointer. That's 2 back-to-back for Xarnax, giving him those levels. His knowledge, his expertise, this is going to help give him a good boost here. Cynas also picked up Reflect and Raru there. Going to be checking through the Parappa Cave. Probably going to be headed to the grass tile and then going to see what palace is up over here that Xarnax did not inspect.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like it's not a vanilla maze island, so something different.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing we can't have in this flag set is a vanilla maze island. I think it's set to simply vanilla-like, so that's the one pass we get here. I wonder if Death Mountain is going to be vanilla as well. That would be the triple threat together.
All right, so it looks like the palace here is either 3 or 6. And not going into Maze Island, but looking for items. And what do we got for the first one?
That sometimes happens to me as well. I'm looking for items, and I just pass by the palace, and then all of a sudden I find myself down a path, and I'm like, oh man, I don't even know what palace this was. I have to backtrack.
Oh man, magic containers for both of our runners.
Yeah, so we got a vanilla Maze Island item here. We'll see if the child is also available in the other spot.
Actually, I think that's French vanilla. I think that one is the child. The other one's the magic container. At least in vanilla. And the other one's just a blue magic jar. And the palace. Oh, hello, GP.
Okay, well, unless Fairy is required, and unless Fairy is on the other side of the River Devil, we might have a pretty fast seed here. We still haven't checked Saria, so Fairy could be Saria, and if it's not, then it could be Darunia, could be a Child Hunt. Otherwise, it's going to be New Kasuto. Not Old Kasuto, though. We already have that spell.
Oh, yeah, Old Kasuto, we've got the spell for, yeah.
But like you say, the flute's got to be, if it is blocking us here, it's got to be somewhere accessible so they can get through that river devil.
And it said it was in the east, so by process of elimination, it can only be in the P-bag cave, because that's the only other east location we can even get to right now.
Oddly enough, I've had a bugged seed in the past that has said that the flute was in New Kasuto in a vanilla east, and unfortunately, unable to reach that in the spell tower for me. So that was one of those rare bugs that you do run into. Hopefully we don't see that here in this particular flag set, this seed.
Well, I mean, in that case, were you actually able to finish that seed?
No, that was a bugged seed that was unfinishable.
Ah, unfortunate. But that's finding bugs is the best way to get them fixed.
Indeed.
500 from the Blue Lizalfos.
A lot of experience here, and I don't think Xarnax is scoffing at those numbers for sure. He's sitting at 424. No reason to really level magic at the moment unless you want to get that fire cast down for shield, but then again, with 7 heart containers, you're already pretty beefy as it is, so I don't disagree with his 424 leveling strategy here. I believe Cynas was sitting at 223.
And there's Fairy.
Well, Xarnax is a gambler. I've seen this man take gambles on glove not being required in GP and making it through, as we see not a check for the spell hint on where Fairy is, where the child is, I mean. So, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I understand it. You have the information. It would be nice to have the information on where the child is as well. But, going all the way to check that takes time.
Yeah.
And this is a race after all. And sometimes you gotta cut corners where you think you can.
Xarnax getting the bad news for the magic container cave that he dipped out of early on, just has that red jar.
Alright, so we only have knowledge of 2 palaces so far. We got the 3 or 6 in the desert. We've got GP on the maze. And that's really all we have so far.
Yeah, Xarnax going back in the Rudo now to check that spell hint. Or, yeah, at least the spell hint, not where the trophy itself is, though.
Right, yeah. And the glove is in the west. We already knew that. Thank you, though.
That's when you pull the item out of your pocket and you just smack the NPC in the face with it. Be like, I got it already, thanks. We are going to get a hint for Thunder's location, or at least the medicine's location here on Cynas' side.
And it's in P3.
Okay, that could be our Parappa palace. Otherwise, it's going to be 6. And we don't know what's in the swamp. No one's checked the swamp yet. And I guess we need Fairy to check the island palace. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are going to get a check of Saria. Well, there's jump. So there's our access to the upstab, downstab.
Yeah, that's Sorry, finish.
Yeah, it's just all sorts of good stuff.
I was going to say, this is when we saw Xarnax go into Mito as well, it's the same thing like you said with the Darunia. It's 3 screens to go get that hint for the medicine. You know it's Thunder. It might be required. It might not be. I would probably still look around on the west a little bit to see if I could find the medicine or at least get the jump spell so that I wouldn't have to double or triple dip Mito to get downstab and get the hint and then turn in the medicine. All that walking across those 3 screens, 2 or 3 screens each time can add up in time.
Yep, and Cynas thinking ahead, paying a visit to Bagu before going to Saria, so he could perhaps get so he could scout out what Death Mountain looks like.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm hoping this is, for some odd reason, I'm hoping that this is just a vanilla Death Mountain. With our vanilla East and West. Just complete the family.
Xarnax heading back into Mido, most at the very least going to get Down's tab.
That's going to be jump for Cynas here, probably about to cross the bridge as well, making it down to Death Mountain Vanilla. Has he cleared the medicine? No, he hasn't been in the medicine cave area, has he yet? No.
The medicine. I don't think either of our runners have been there yet.
Yeah, again, Cynas not having. We'll probably keep repeating this just so that everyone is on the same page as they come in and out of chat. Is that Cynas is not like super vanilla expert runner, so it's very likely that he just is not wrecking those locations.
That's a hint I'm not used to seeing. Bagu in Center Woods.
Yeah, that bot has been changed to now always give you the location of Bagu.
Right, because that bot is like Bagu's pet or something. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's weird lore that I wasn't aware of, but
yeah, I want to. I believe it was because I want to say in Vanilla he kind of leads you in that general direction.
Okay. So not a vanilla Death Mountain as we're seeing on Cynas' side. It is looking mountainous at this point. Although could be Island Z with all that water.
Yeah, it looks like just one big island though at the moment. I really do not like seeing the stupid birds on this segment.
It's one of the worst because you're so high up and the birds, they don't have to come down very far before they can just shoot in your direction. It's can be very dangerous if you're like mid-jump and you can't turn and maneuver out of their way.
Spectacle Rock has our 8th heart container.
Probably the last thing you want to see at this point with 7 of those already.
I mean, it's there, you'll take it.
Yeah, I would take it as well. It's just, man, I guess you start with a lot of stuff as it is. Hint for the flute in the east as well. What would you want? Cross, maybe Child, I guess. Child would be a play there. That would be pretty big on Cynas' side if you just stumbled upon the Child, knowing that it's the fairy spell here.
All right, so Xarnax is taking a dip into whichever palace this is. I don't recognize the windows offhand. I don't have the window knowledge that some other people have off the hand. So
yeah, well, if it's not jail bars, then it's P3. Jail bars is definitely a P6 indicator.
Okay.
We do have to find a room with windows in it, though.
Right. And Xarnax is just not digging this far just to see what palace it is. No.
Yeah, he saw a door. I don't know if we have any keys yet. I'm definitely not having a fairy spell.
I don't believe so. No. Hadn't seen any drops. I think the biggest drop we had seen so far. Apparently, there's a 700-point P bag in the item pool somewhere.
So, confirming that this is an islands. Oh, there's our back entrance to DM there, but it is an islands DM with all these small little islands. We did just start on that very large one. It was a little misleading as to what biome it was exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're gonna get some medicine cave action here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know what you do in a situation like this, especially when you have the hammer. Would you have dug the east early, or would you have just cleared out all the very accessible spots on the west before doing anything on the east? Because something like this could be the Child right here.
Yeah, I think the west, with Vanilla West, I think the item locations are a little bit more close together, and there is the Child. So with the east, things are a little bit more spread out. Oh, and there is a key in the item in the drop pool. Okay.
Yeah, you said the east is more spread out. I don't like. I would say I probably would not have dug the east that early on. I probably would have just stuck with the west, knowing that Saria was free, a free spell, and that there were a lot of other areas that I could have checked just for free, especially with having the hammer. But plus, then, even if you need to start back over at North Palace, it's a quick jog over to the raft tile that will take you east. And then right there's a town, there's a pea bag cave, you got the boots to access the water area. You're not really restricted. So I don't know. I would probably stick with the west here.
Although I think at this point, the only place left is the Island Palace area. Oh, we do have the pea bag cave here, too. So I think Cynas had been here before. Wasn't this where? No, I think this was nothing.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because I remember Cynas dipping into here, but okay. Our tracker is saying it was a 300-point P bag. So.
This is why we keep Big Picket around to track for us and keep us informed.
And Cynas taking their first dip into the east.
Also going to see a little swamp palace here. It could be something that Xarnax wants to dive into quickly with that key now. As you mentioned, we saw the key now in the small enemy drop pool. So it is something we could potentially farm if we wanted to, but I don't know. We haven't seen a lot of them. It's hard to say whether it's going to come up a lot.
And this is the other 3-6.
We know Rebanak rides with the medicine. Xarnax did go in for that hint? I know we saw it on Cynas' side. Did Xarnax head back to Mito yet to get... he did get downstab, so yeah.
He did get downstab. I don't remember seeing if he went for the medicine hint, though.
Interesting. $300 just lying on the floor there. Xarnax picks it up and levels in the process. And there are our 6 windows there, those jail bars.
Okay.
There's going to be a door in here as well. This is going to burn Xarnax's key if he wants to burn it. He's thinking.
Yeah, he's going.
That's a move right there for sure. Oh!
And that's an immediate fairy block. Oof.
All right, Xarnax, take that child back home to Daruni and get yourself some fairy. You are in need of getting through doors and these fairy blocks as well. And if he has that hint, again, we're not really sure if he went to go get the hints for the medicine, but Rebanak does ride with the medicine, knowing that it is the Parappa Desert Palace up there in the northeast. So that could be a quick trip. It could be just P3, P6, and then over to GP. There's no need for the flute. It's just simply do your 2 palaces and get into GP ASAP.
Yeah, possibly. Although we do still... with Fairy, that would give us access to the Island Palace location as well.
Yeah.
And if it ends up being, say, P1 or P2 or something, that might be a bit of more palatable option.
Yeah, for sure. I've often wondered if it's faster to walk around this way with the boots or if it's faster to just go through that cave, because that cave I think is only one screen that takes you from the middle section to the north side here in the east.
Yeah.
Especially with these encounters. I don't know. I need to time that one day.
Of course, it also depends on what enemies are in the cave.
That's true. Xarnax almost back to Daruni at this point, knowing that that's where our fairy spell lies, and of course probably going to pick up upstab as well. I don't think there's a reason to gamble on it. You're passing right by the house. You might as well just get it, because if you need it, do you really want to come all the way back here? Probably not.
Probably not, yes. It's on your way. You might as well.
Oh, with the swag jump there.
Bet you wish this was downstab, though. We already have that. Thank you, though. Though one thing I have noticed that neither of our runners have scouted what the palace is out in the sea.
Really? They walked. Both of them have walked. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, they both walked by. That could be our P1 right there.
Possibly.
That's interesting. We've seen a lot of kind of interesting routing. I don't want to say like. Well, you know, I will say it. I'll say less than ideal, less than efficient. I don't know if I want to like, you know, pinpoint anything specifically, but I mean that palace is right there. I think it's worth a check.
Yeah, at least looking to see what it is so you know what your options are, yeah.
Because otherwise, like you say, we're either digging 3 and 6. And I don't know if, and again, for the third time, I'm just not sure if Xarnax has that hint that Rebanak rides with the medicine. If he does, then he's in good shape. If he doesn't, then I don't know if he's going to go back to 3, because 3 is kind of a walk from even, you know, just the northeast section. He might just want to do 6 and then shoot over to something else. I'm not sure. But then again, in his defense, Thunder might not even be required, so. Oh, he really wanted that Lizolfo, and he gets it with all the other damage there.
Yeah, the 500 is good, and a quick fairy feat to render that second segment a non-issue.
Yeah, Cynas trying to fight the orange one there. I believe the orange one's going to be invulnerable, even with the fire spell, due to the way that enemies take damage or the way that you can hit them. You would have to be able to, like, an enemy has to be susceptible to something like a sword beam to be able to be hit by the fire spell. Otherwise, the only way to kill invulnerable enemies that are not susceptible to sword beams is simply going to be, I guess, the spell to get them out of that invulnerable state, or the thunder spell.
Oh, and we are checking the Palace on the Sea, and it is P1.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah, Xarnax not upping. Want to preserve that experience that he's got toward going towards the next level, and so we have plenty of lives to burn.
Yeah, that's true as well. We saw, I think it's the last one we did that we only had 2 lives, and that was just very punishing. This one, the full 5 lives, is very forgiving, the complete opposite of the spectrum.
Yeah, the last one was 2 lives and 3 hearts, so yeah, fun times. And I thought I saw something drop. I think maybe that was an extra life.
I think you may be right.
Because it wasn't a jar, because you would have to slash it to pick that up.
So we're pretty much seeing everything in the drop pool. P-bags, keys, 1-ups, I guess no jars yet? Not that that'll be an issue necessarily.
Xarnax turning back. Maybe that's a dead end?
That was a dead end.
Ah, okay.
Cynas grabbing his upstabbed sword technique here, and he'll be probably checking for the hint on the child. Going to be seeing that it is in the west, and he'll just have to continue clearing some of those locations. Again, not entirely sure if Cynas knows all of the locations on the Vanilla West, whether or not he is familiar with something like Medicine Cave being blocked by the boulder. But seeing a cave, having the hammer, he will undoubtedly eventually see that and just check it.
Yeah, no keys, but we do have fairy, and it's not that expensive. We still have at least 2 uses of it per life.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Magic 5 coming through here. Double back-to-back rooms that are exactly the same.
Mm.
And our item room.
Oh, wow. Make that 3. That begs the question, where is that magical key? Well, it's not here. That's the item for P1, just a red magic jar.
Yeah, there's a lot of locations left where that magic key may be. I have a feeling we're going to probably finish this one without it. Even with the keys in the drop pool, we have this room that's in GP that is a double glove locked room with a key door in the middle. And you either need keys in the drop pool or you need the magic key to get through there. It's something you cannot ferry through. So with keys in the drop pool, they should be okay if they run into that at that particular room.
And Xarnax has found Horsehead and takes him out.
Cynas checking the jump cave. You're going to see that it is just simply a vanilla jump cave that takes you from one side to the other. But this is going to be his medicine cave that he needs for where the child is.
Yeah, I believe that's the last check in the west anyway. So with that hint, it couldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Alright, so now that Xarnax has the first gem down, it's like he's gonna pay a visit to the Peabag Cave where we expect to see the flute.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to take that down south then, or if he's just going to head back and clear out another palace and then jump into GP. I'm hoping he doesn't chase it down south.
If anything, maybe check a little bit to see, maybe we can find the magical key somewhere, because that would be helpful.
Possible, yeah.
It's just a matter of whether it's worth the time it takes digging it out.
Oh, and we're going south.
Trying to fairy feet, didn't get that one. Got that one, though.
Very fun encounter on Cynas' side there.
Yeah, ooh, double yeah, ooh. Though if you're able to clear all those enemies out, that's a lot of experience for you.
Yeah, we don't know how much the orange ones are worth, but we know those blue ones are worth 500 each.
Yeah, but goodness knows, even I tend to avoid those things, so I probably would never have known about that one.
I wonder if Xarnax is just shooting down here to check Three-Eyed Rock real quick. Because we didn't see him head north to the other Peabag Cave, and we didn't see him go north for New Kasuto either. But maybe this is his kind of counterclockwise loop that he'll do here.
That is P2.
Yeah,
It's
not a
probably
bad alternative.
And it's probably exactly what Xarnax was looking for.
1, then 2. It'll be interesting if we see a Thunderbird block, then he's going to be going back to Mito to get that hint and then diving back into P3 to get that item.
And meanwhile, Cynas has returned to Darunia. We'll be getting that fairy spell.
Yeah, this will put Cynas into Palace Logic time, so hopefully we see him jump into some palaces sooner than later. Not sure if he's going to check that Ocean Palace. He didn't before. That would have given him the information that it was P1. So I don't know if he's going to... He does, but he has the hint for the medicine. That's why we know it. And so he might head back to P3, P6 and check those.
And I think, he thinks Xarnax is in a bit of a loop right now.
Yeah, it looks loopy for sure.
And I'll probably have to take a death to get the magic restored.
Okay, so Cynas not up and A-ing. I don't think he's checked Maze Island either, so Hopefully he heads off in that direction, touches the bridge, gets warped over to our vanilla-like Maze Island, and then sees that GP is over there. That's going to be necessary information for him to have.
Mm-hmm. I guess that path leads to nothing.
I think we're doing elevator checks now. I think we've scolded Xarnax a few times for not doing elevator checks, and I know that he at times watches his own races back just to see how it all played out and see what everyone's saying. And yeah, we've scolded him a few times for not doing elevator checks because you could have the boss just simply attached to the elevator these days.
Right.
He did get burned on that, I think, in a previous race where there was a very easy, I think it was P2, there was a very easy helmet head at the bottom of the starting elevator, and he went a different direction, unfortunately. But speaking of helmet head,
ooh, the helmet head gets the better end of that engagement.
I think Xarnax's been taking a little damage on purpose because in case he needs to take those death abuses, he wants to be damaged, and so running into helmet head here.
In case there was more fairy blocks, yeah.
Yeah. Not having to rely on drippers to take you down 7 heart containers at life 6.
Although the drippers spawning orange iron knuckles,
that's true.
That's not too bad, but you're still reliant on RNG to have them show up in the first place.
Yeah.
Alright, so that is 2 gems for Xarnax, and most likely just going straight to GP. Although, well, I guess do a little item scouting, see if we can find more magic, and I guess technically that's true.
Yeah, not concerned about Nukasudo and lava encounters here in the forest. Always fun. Gonna do the old up and A, though. I wonder if we're going back to Mito for the hint now to see where the medicine may be.
Maybe. Either that or this was just deemed the faster way of getting back.
Yeah, that's possible as well. All the encounters, it's a quick trip over to the raft, and then the raft is just a quick little jog over to the water area up to Maze Island, where Cynas currently is. All right, confirmed. Currently confirmed, at least. Not concerned about Thunder.
At least he knows where Thunder is, so
yeah.
The hint can be gotten if the need arises for it.
Unfortunately, Cynas looks like he's doing a full clear of Maze Island here. I don't know. These 2 items were pretty close to start as long as you went the right way. Quotes, went the right way. But
yeah, I think Cynas started on the northern end and worked down. All right, at 37:19, Xarnax enters GP.
A nice dark green, as opposed to something that's bright and annoying, especially if it comes down to fighting Thunderbird. Seeing the fire is going to be a lot easier.
And a very nice welcoming party.
Yeah, that's what you always want to see when you walk in. Firebird, Blue Foca, Waffle Room stuck right there at the start with them.
Well, at least they were in the waffles in a way that you couldn't avoid them.
Yeah.
But then again, oh, hello. I often forget that jar, that 50-50 thing is there.
Yeah, there's 2 spots on those waffles where there can be a jar, and then of course sometimes it's not even there, and I think that depends on the enemy set that spawns in the room.
So pretty straightforward so far. Okay, yeah, it's still straightforward. Yep, and Cynas exploring the coast. Finding a pea bag for a quick level, but that's not one of the randomized items, unfortunately.
So I was about to say that this emoji room looked pretty timid from the front of it, but the second half of it,
yeah.
little busy.
Little bit.
I was going to say early on when we saw that first room, I was going to say I hope that this theme keeps up, and well, so far so good.
And this is why we like having a high life count for a scene,
Yes.
for moments like this. Because if this was like a 2-lifer or something, oof. Yeah, just getting past these first couple rooms would be interesting.
So that is incredibly convenient on bird placement there in that emoji, and the way that they acted. Wow, Xarnax got very, very lucky as he just cruised through there and got the bop on the sword beam, did knock him up on top of the exit point, and that was that. That could have been a whole lot worse.
Mm-hmm. More waffles.
The waffles over lava. Or, as some people call it, waffles and syrup.
Yeah, I'm all for spicy, but I have my limits. Well, eventually we're gonna. There. Wow, it took this long to reach our first intersection.
Okay, so we got an up and left behind us. This is going to be an elevator at the end of this room. It's going to take us up and somewhere. Okay, so we got some decisions at this point. Cynas up an A.
Bago is such fun in rooms like this. You can just pop up in anywhere else. More waffles.
This GP is part of a complete breakfast. So Cynas is going to be digging into, I believe this is the color of our vanilla P3. You're looking for that medicine. Again, having that hint for medicine is thunder, Rebanek rides with the medicine. So this could be where he slightly takes a bit of a lead if Thunderbird is found to be required, seeing as Xarnax does not, we believe he doesn't have the hint for where the medicine is at, but he does know that Thunder is in Vito.
Yeah.
Into a fun four-way here. Oh, wow. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Wait, what just...
Oh, if there's Thunderbird.
I saw a skip in the stream there. We teleported. At least on my end.
Yeah, I did see a bit of buffering on Cynas' side, but... Alright, so we know where Thunderbird is. Now to find out if Thunderbird is a requirement. Oh, and there's Thunderbird again. He thinks there's a loop involved somewhere.
Yeah, I am a little out of sync here, so I'm going to refresh. Cynas trying to fight those blue iron knuckles. Probably needs to just downstab over them and go.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about downstab. It allows you to just get past certain enemies if you have enough headroom. And these The fire chickens have a good bit of health to them. And Cynas finds the medicine.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm missing some of this routing here. So I'm not familiar with where Xarnax is, and I did just catch the very end of that medicine pickup.
Oh, but Xarnax found Dark Link. Thunderbird was not a requirement this time around.
Well, unfortunately, Cynas did have that chance, but in the end, yeah, the randomizer comes through and puts Thunderbird in a random spot, not required.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with that, Xarnax finishes in first place with an official race time, GG time of 44:58. GG. And Cynas forfeits immediately thereafter.
Yeah, I don't blame him. At that point, the race is over, and there's really nothing to be won. Yeah, unfortunately, Xarnax is unable to join us in voice. He, for some reason, has a lack of permissions. I believe it's going to come down to he and Trez have to duke it out in a 3-round highest average score of Robot Unicorn Attack in order for him to get his voice permissions returned to him. So he will be in chat joining us. We'll have to talk to him through Twitch chat.
All right, then.
It's complicated to get your voice permissions back. Yes, I know. I didn't make the rules, though.
And yeah, Cynas is continuing, at least taking on Rebanak here, though Rebanak is not being very nice.
Yeah, you got to get to the other side of the room and then start walking towards him, do maybe some neutral jumps, and then he'll be nice. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, not enough for Fairy, though. Oh, nope, can't see Cynas, so never mind, folks. He's in P3, though.
I do see Xarnax in the waiting room.
Xarnax, can you hear us? Or can you speak to us? Yep, that seems like a negative.
Okay, fair enough.
He can speak in non-commentary invite-only channels for some reason, but cannot speak. He has no voice permission in these channels. It's a mystery.
All right, so I guess for Xarnax, if you can respond in chat, what was your first... Were you concerned when you found Thunderbird before finding Darklink?
And did you have the hint for where the medicine was? We weren't sure if you picked that up.
Yeah, since we knew where Thunderspell was, but we didn't know if you had picked up that medicine hint yet.
Apologies to anyone watching the restream back at a future date. We are obviously speaking through Twitch chat to Xarnax. There's that delay where we wait for him to respond and then we can talk. So, yeah.
Okay, so Xarnax did have the hint and planned on getting the medicine before leaving 2, but then muscle memory took over and the up A happened.
Okay. Yeah, we weren't sure if we saw you pick up the hint, Xarnax. We knew that Cynas picked up the hint. That's how we knew where it was.
Although considering that the medicine was in P3, which was in the Parappa Desert, the up A probably would have been faster getting from there to 3i Rock, from 3i Rock anyway.
Yeah, we were thinking that even from P1 in the ocean, just up an A from there and then hit up Parappa Desert, do P3 for the medicine, and then just simply wrap back around from Mito, turn it in, and then head off to Maze Island. Well, luckily P2 wasn't too bad. It was just simply having to head south through the River Devil, through the pass, and then the bridge over to Three-Eyed Rock. And then 2 wasn't too bad to route and find Helmet Head in. So,
I see.
Wow!
Your bosses mixed up. You read Rebenak and you mistook that as saying Helmet Head. Oof, yeah.
That is so funny.
So you intended to go back into 2 to dig out the item on there, which would have set you back a little bit, though we never did find out what that was. If that was the key, that probably would have been at least somewhat helpful, especially if you had to dig into 3.
Yeah, that is so funny. It happens in a race. You're moving along, a lot of information sometimes in the early game, a lot of locations left to check, trying to keep all of that straight in your mind, even with the tracker. And you just misremember that hint. Wow, yeah, that would have been a mystery on our side if Thunderbird would have been required and you had found that, and then you would be back in 2. We probably would have been like, "What is he doing in 2?"
Yeah, eventually you probably would have thought maybe misreading the hint.
Yeah.
Either that or just thinking, I want that key. Where the heck is the key?
But other than that, it seemed pretty straightforward, simply because we had a Vanilla West and a Vanilla East. And, Xarnax, you're pretty familiar with both of those continents.
Yeah, that definitely sets you a bit ahead of Cynas, who wasn't quite sure where certain things were, I think.
Yeah, something we were talking about, mainly Wizard and I were talking about, was overall routing, on whether we would have cleared the west before doing anything in the east. This time it would have ended up being beneficial, seeing as the medicine cave had the child. So by the time we would have even seen Darunia, you would have just been able to turn in ferry instead of having to come back to the west, find the child, and then head back to the east again. I mean, you were already kind of in those areas to begin with, but yeah, I don't know. You get kind of sucked in one direction. You see that Vanilla East, you're like, oh, I know this continent too. We'll just do some quick checks. And then sometimes maybe you forget what you didn't finish on the West. I don't know. That can happen.
Yeah, so until I had experienced the vanilla layouts myself, I wasn't fully aware of where that first P-bag cave was, so that was fun.
Yeah, overall, it seemed like it could have been a pretty jet seed there. Even with those 700-point P-bags, we did see one 300-point P-bag as well. I believe 700s were also in the drop pool.
Yes, they were.
Okay, you're right. So, there was a lot of experience to be had there. For anyone, again, watching the restream is not going to have chat in the future. Xarnax was saying that he played conservatively. Lots of looking for XP and some safeties. But it would be interesting to see how top-seeded players would have tackled this one.
And Gunizos, that did pay off some. Gunizos, the blue Lizalfos given 500. If you know what you're doing and fighting those things, that's some pretty good experience right there.
Yeah, without a doubt. There was a lot of experience to be had here, and that was that was nice. That just made it, 7 heart container start. 2 pretty easily accessible magic containers, one on grass tile, and then the other one, I forget where that was, but we both of our runners found it at the same time. Cynas found the grass tile magic container. Oh, it was in Maze Island. It was in Maze Island. So the other magic container that y'all found was in Maze Island. And yeah, it wasn't, again, without Thunder needing to be cast, magic was all up to you to use on whatever you wanted, really.
Which I think it was mostly on Fairy and a little bit of Shield with some of those Bird Knight rooms.
Yeah, maybe some jump here and there to get through those waffles. But yeah, I think there's really not too much more to say. I don't think, especially with these just vanilla continents. Memeing in the beginning on if this is even the randomizer with the 2 vanilla East and West. We didn't, Xarnax, I don't think you checked Death Mountain at all, but we did not have a vanilla Death Mountain. We did have a Islands Death Mountain. Cynas showed us that. Spec Rock had a heart container, and I don't think we saw what was in Hammer Cave.
No, I don't think he ever found it, no.
Okay, probably wouldn't have been anything too amazing, although could have been where the magic key was.
Possibly. Although I think with that, maybe time to draw things to a close. We do have another race later on tonight. At 10 o'clock Eastern, we have Animus United versus Level Engine right here on ZSR Main.
We'll have that. We also have the Wind Waker Rando weekly race will be coming up on ZSR 3, or I think ZSR 2 in about an hour. Also, there was also a Ocarina of Time Rando tourney match coming up at 3 on Main, and a Link to the Past tourney match coming up at 4. I'm not sure which channel yet, but keep an eye on the schedule. That will be updated shortly with what is going where. Big shout out to both of our runners today, Xarnax and Cynas. If you aren't following those two, please give them both a follow already. Tracker behind the scenes today doing the hero's work, Patrick, allowing the commentators and myself to just sit here and do nothing for an hour. Appreciate that, thank you. And our 2 comms today, Mirai and Melee Wizard, please give them both a follow as well. If you have not already. We are going to head over to Trails. Fair warning for some here, he's running the Seeds of the Week, so if you're not looking to be spoiled, here's your chance to back on out. Any final thoughts before we head on out for the day?
Just one from me. Actually, I forgot to say it, but Xarnax is now 2-2. Going into round 5, he still does have a chance to get one more win, put him at 3-2, and get him into the brackets here coming up in our Max Rando 2022 tournament. Other than that, that's it for me.
All right. With that, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We will hope to see you back here shortly, as well as later tonight for the final match of the round 4 Swiss. Until next time, everybody stay safe out there. We will see you soon, and have a great afternoon, all.